Today, I'm going to bring to you my review of the Primal 2 Minimalist Running Shoes by Lems. I'm going to zoom in on the key elements of the Primal 2s that are good fundamentals for giving you a bigger boost in enhancing your forefoot strike, running stride, and like a true minimalist running shoe, the Primal 2 doesn't have an obstructive fit because the shoe isn't loaded down with foot stabilizing features. Their shoes are completely free of stability and rigid support, things that I like to call foot strength robbing features. Ultimately, Lems footwear gets all the minimalist basics right, in that your feet are much freer to move and expand to their natural state, which is going to evoke stronger, broader, deeper engagements of the foot muscles, helping you get more positive results and building more sustained foot strength. And always know that strengthening the feet is definitely an important step to running more injury-free. Before I get into the review, let me give you some background information on Lems and how they are helping lead the charge and helping you make real progress, and not just getting your feet functionally stronger, but progress in other areas, such as helping runners get their natural stride or forefoot strike running mechanics more in better coordinated order, because that's very effective in injury prevention and can really help you work toward attaining real results in performance progress. So why do you stand to gain so much from Lems footwear? Lems' fundamental philosophy is less is more, with special emphasis on designing footwear that directly lines up and complements the natural shape of our feet. And as I stated earlier, Lems footwear doesn't obstruct the foot from functioning in its natural capacity the way nature intended the foot to function. Lems offers an assortment of functionally specialized and distinguished minimalist footwear, functional in a sense that the essential asset of each and every shoe by Lems is a wide and bendy toe box, which promotes the toes to spread out, fully flex, and naturally expand and extend when you walk, run, or hike, helping you use your toes more effectively, permitting the toes to do their necessary job at redoubling your balance control, improving your footstep security, putting you on a stronger footing, especially on uneven terrain. And in this condition, foot strength and balance stability only gets enhanced the more you wear wider, flatter, more flexible shoes like Lems footwear. In contrast, one of the surest ways to damage the feet as much as possible is to stuff them into a narrow shoe, as shown on the left, in which studies consistently point to narrow footwear as one of the main, if not the culprit, of causing bunions, neuromas, and other painful foot malformations. In narrow shoes, the toes aren't even engaged in a basic level, not to mention bone strength in the smaller bones that make up the front of the foot deconditions, which has been found to lead to dangerous rises in uneven impact stress throughout the foot, placing heavier loads on the forefoot when the toes are unable to spread out. And a lot of injuries stems from this. However, all this can be dramatically reducible or fixable and, of course, preventable by running or walking in a wider shoe, shown on the right, which can have a corrective effect on bunions and neuromas because it changes the conditions for the better, making it easier to take care of a lot of problematic foot ailments that are so common in habitually shod populations. In getting back to the review, the Primal 2 has a lot of the features that makes a minimalist shoe so popular as a tool for form correction and foot strength conditioning, such that the Primal 2 is zero drop, has very mild cushioning that doesn't take much away from the feel of the ground. The shoe pretty much forces you to land on your forefoot during running, which is the kind of mechanics that provide impact force reductions. The Primal 2s are sufficiently lightweight and flexible. Overall, excellent qualities that will serve you very well as a runner. Most notably, the Primal 2 is very, very similar in construction and offers a very similar ride and feel as the Skora minimalist running shoes, especially the Skora Fit. Skora is no longer around, but if you were once a big fan of Skora, which a lot of minimalist runners were, you'll absolutely love the Primal 2s. I just want to underscore that the Primal 2 is made of 100% vegan-friendly materials. Also, the Lems Primal 2 is quite light for its durability, weighing in at around 6.9 ounces. In looking at the upper, the silhouette matches the shape of the foot and flexes and moves swiftly where your foot flexes during running. The upper is wide and stretchy enough to allow forefoot spreading and flexing, yet snug enough throughout the heel and midfoot to prevent slippage. The upper is a combination of carefully positioned soft microfiber framing that has a remarkably smooth feel and panels of a cross-hatching patterned closed mesh for a closer, more comfortable foot-conforming fit, as well as enhanced breathability, especially in the front. The front of the shoe lets in pretty good airflow, and it's the soft, flexible mesh at the front that allows the front of your foot to expand and spread. Overall, I'm really impressed with the soft shell upper that also creates a cozy, plush interior, giving a pressure-free, roomy, yet foot-hugging fit. I've read many wear testers' comments on the fit and feel of the Primal 2's upper, and wear testers really raved about the comfortable fit, which benefits from a pressure-free lacing pattern that follows the actual top line of the foot. And I can really attest to this because the upper is a very comfortable covering, especially when worn without socks. You essentially get no hot spots or blisters. I love the beefy tube lacing in that it stops the tongue from shifting around, and it really helps keep the foot centered in the shoe during each phase of running gait. The upper really is comfortable from the first time you lace it up, as it fits snugly on all angles of the foot. The Primal 2 has a slightly lower cut at the ankle to reduce weight and improve the fit. Bottom line, the overlays are very solid durability-wise without added weight. The upper materials are sturdy, so I don't think durability is really going to be an issue for high mileage runners. Most importantly, the upper has a good flex profile, which is an essential functional benefit that's going to make your forefoot stride feel efficient and keeps your feet in an awakened state. Perhaps the most important feature of the Lems Primal 2 is its zero drop, 8 millimeters thick, air-blown rubber outsole that provides the perfect amount of traction on dry and wet pavement. The sole has rugged durability and moderate underfoot cushioning that doesn't feel squishy or excessive, and gets you dialed in to feeling the ground, engaging your foot strike perception in ways that traditional footwear does not. It provides a smoothing of the road and delivers a comfortable landing that doesn't lose comfort over longer runs or at faster running paces, and definitely the durability of the sole can handle high mileage. The firm underfoot feel is going to make your ride more responsive and sturdy, helping you secure better footstep stability and protects against stone bruising without compromising much ground feel. The ground feel will score very well with minimalist runners as the sole delivers enough adequate ground feel to be a corrective tool to bring out the best in your forefoot running stride, helping you become more skilled at forefoot running. Another appreciated functional asset of the Primal 2's outsole is that it's flexible throughout, especially at the forefoot. This is because the multi-flex cuts and indented deep circular grooves offers up added flexibility and bendability, which in turn helps increase intrinsic development of stronger muscles in the foot because it gives more opportunity for the foot to engage. Even more impressive, the Primal 2 comes with a removable insole, which you can de-layer the shoe and remove the insoles for a more unrestricted, close to the ground ride. But even with the insoles in, I was very surprised by how natural the underfoot felt and still encouraged a softer forefoot strike landing with the ground. But fundamentally, the Primal 2's most impressive asset is its low ride height, no heel lift. In other words, it's zero drop, meaning that the foot is fully seated flat on the ground, which really gives a fast feel because the level platform naturally helps shift your weight to the forefoot during running, causing a sensation of being propelled forward, which is going to aid in a faster turnover, but encourages the foot to be aligned in the right direction of landing on the balls of the foot. Basically, it's going to help you lock in a more effective forefoot strike during running, which has the direct effect of naturally helping reduce pressures off the heel and helps ease impact burdens on other areas of the leg, especially the knee. Overall, the sole allows you to feel the road, but is cushioned enough to make the bumps, rocks, twigs, acorns feel good. Rocks don't overpenetrate the outsole. Definitely fitting for trail minimalist runners who like a touch of cushioning plus protection from rocks without being weighed down with protective bulk. Nonetheless, the Primal 2 is a solid shoe for high mileage runners and for runners looking for an improved road running experience. Nowhere does the shoe fail in that area. The Primal 2s can also be used for speed work because they provide good responsiveness for faster efforts. The Primal 2 is a great match for tempo runs and road races of any distance, but essentially, the Primal 2 is a good match for minimalist runners used to running in a more protective cushioned running shoe, but is also very ideal for runners wanting to ease barefoot-like training into their routine because in all, the Primal 2s are made up of a variety of materials that really help recreate the natural running experience, and the running shoes really do work as expected in that way. As for being a multi-terrain or an all-weather shoe, the Primal 2s are good for soft trails, moderately technical surfaces, rocky trails, dry and wet hard surfaces, although I'm not sure how the Primal 2s handle slushy, sloppy, icy, extremely cold, wet conditions, or in the mud, mucky trails, or on wet grass. Where I live, the weather has been consistently cold and dry for many months, and the Primal 2s have been a solid choice for drier, wintry conditions. However, when I log more miles on the shoes, I'll be doing an updated review of the Primal 2s on how well they perform durability-wise and in more extreme weather conditions, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, the Lems Primal 2s are a big performer at delivering an incredibly fluid ride. They excel at shielding your feet from harm, but more importantly, the Primal 2s get you up on your forefoot fast, helping you feel your forefoot strike, giving you a speed boost during running, and they are an attractive option for versatility every day because they are a sharp-looking shoe that can be worn casually and can act as a beast of a shoe for fast or slow training conditions. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to find out more about Lems footwear, the link is down below in the description box. And lastly, to stay updated on all the latest research on the health and performance benefits of forefoot running, including minimalist running and barefoot running, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there on the roads and trails. Bye for now.